Life often surprises us when we least expect it. For Sarah, a waitress working long hours in a small town diner, the surprise came in the form of a simple act of honesty, one that would change her life forever. Sarah was no stranger to struggle. At just 26, she was juggling more than anyone her age should have to. Her younger brother, Mark, was recovering from a life-threatening surgery, and the mounting medical bills were a constant source of stress. Their rent was overdue, her car was barely running, and despite working double shifts at the diner, it seemed like she was always one step behind. Still, Sarah faced each day with a determined smile. The regulars at the diner loved her sunny demeanor, even if they didn't know about the storm she was navigating behind the scenes. One busy Friday afternoon, as the lunch rush filled the diner with the sounds of conversation and clinking silverware, Sarah was clearing a recently vacated booth. That's when she noticed it, a wallet lying on the seat. She picked it up, her brow furrowing at its weight. Out of curiosity, she opened it just enough to spot an ID and a thick stack of cash. Her breath caught. It was more money than she had ever seen in one place. For a fleeting moment, the thought crossed her mind. This could solve so many of her problems. But just as quickly, she pushed the thought away. Sarah knew better. The money wasn't hers, and she wouldn't let desperation make her forget her values. She brought the wallet to her manager, and together they found a business card inside. They called the number listed, and after several rings, a man answered. His name was Mr. Harrison, and he sounded both relieved and anxious. He promised to come retrieve the wallet immediately. About an hour later, a tall man in a sharp suit walked into the diner. His eyes scanned the room before landing on Sarah. "I'm Mr. Harrison," he said, his voice steady but tinged with urgency. "I think you found my wallet." Sarah smiled and handed it over. "Here it is, sir. I hope everything's still inside." Mr. Harrison opened the wallet and quickly checked its contents. Relief washed over his face. "It's all here," he said, his voice thick with gratitude. "You don't know what a disaster it would have been if I'd lost this." "Thank you." Sarah shrugged modestly. "I'm just glad I found it before someone else did." Mr. Harrison paused, studying her. "Most people wouldn't have done what you did. Why didn't you keep it?" "It wouldn't have been right," she said simply. Something about her response struck a chord with him. They chatted briefly, and though Sarah was reluctant to share her struggles, she admitted to her brother's medical situation and the financial challenges she was facing. The next morning, Sarah arrived at the diner expecting another hectic shift. Instead, she was greeted by her coworkers, who were whispering excitedly and gesturing toward a familiar figure. Mr. Harrison was back, and he wasn't alone. He smiled warmly as Sarah approached. "Good morning, Sarah," he said, holding a large envelope. "I wanted to thank you properly for what you did." Confused, Sarah opened the envelope to find a handwritten note and a check. Her eyes widened at the amount. $50,000. I can't accept this," she stammered, her hands trembling. Mr. Harrison shook his head. "You didn't just return a wallet. You showed a kind of integrity that's rare these days. This isn't just a thank you. It's a way to give you a chance to breathe. Take care of your brother, fix your car, pay off your rent, whatever you need. You deserve it." Tears filled Sarah's eyes. For so long, she had felt invisible, carrying her burdens alone. Now, here was someone reminding her that kindness and generosity still existed. Over the next few weeks, Sarah used the money to pay off her bills, repair her car, and ensure Mark received the care he needed. She even managed to set aside some savings, a luxury she'd never had before. But the impact didn't stop there. Inspired by Sarah's story, Mr. Harrison began supporting local charities and encouraging others to pay it forward. He stayed in touch with Sarah, offering her mentorship and helping her explore opportunities beyond waitressing. For Sarah, the experience was life-changing. It wasn't just about the money, it was about being seen, appreciated, and reminded that doing the right thing matters. Her story spread throughout the town, touching hearts and inspiring others to believe in the power of honesty and kindness. Sometimes, it takes a single act of integrity to change everything. For Sarah, returning that wallet didn't just restore someone else's faith in humanity, it gave her the fresh start she so desperately needed. And for Mr. Harrison, meeting Sarah reminded him that even in a world often filled with challenges, there are still people who choose to do what's right, no matter the cost. Would you have done the same as Sarah? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that celebrate the power of kindness and integrity.